They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying face.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage. Now, I haven't done a video in a while, something that ain't a live stream, and I've been thinking about it, and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta make a video. So for this month, I'm not gonna do a live stream on Don't Delete. Instead, this will be the video for Don't Delete this month, because I make these videos about not deleting yourself, and some people need it, man. A lot of people need it, because there's a lot of people still recovering or attempting to recover, or that will never recover from Conan 19, the Destroyer, Conan 19. But this video, I hope, will help a lot of people out, because I do the live streams, but there's just so many talking points and so many things we gotta go over during a live stream that the message gets lost, but I think this video will really help people out, to not delete yourself. I'm gonna oh yeah, I forgot to say it. So warning, this is a heterosexual male's channel. Warning, this is a heterosexual male's channel. So warning, this is a heterosexual male's channel. We gotta do that. We gotta do that from now on. Let people know, oh my God, he's heterosexual. Oh my God, I didn't know those still existed. Thought they went extinct in this social media age. Well, I gotta do that. But yeah, to get serious, I'm on the road, whatever. But the thing is this, man, about avoiding deletion. There's a lot of men struggling with that, because there's such a narrative that's pushing a lot of straight men in a corner. You know what I'm saying? The corner is pushing you towards so many aspects. The straight male just feels like he's cornered right now. Like he's cornered in society. And they're pushing this message. They're either pushing you to commit to the false narrative of the family, starting a family and becoming a father, having children, getting married. You know what I'm saying? They're pushing that against the straight male. They're telling you need to basically, this will define your life, even though it's a trap. You know what I'm saying? The narrative of starting a family and so on, it's a trap for the straight male right now, especially in an anti-male stability society. You know what I'm saying? We're in an anti-male stability, and I made this video years ago, or probably a year ago, called Male Limited. We're in a male limited society, male limitation society, So the straight man is being forced and pushed towards, hey man, why aren't you a father yet? Why aren't you married? Why don't you have a girlfriend? Why don't you got a house? Or why aren't you preparing to be a father and preparing to be a husband, a boyfriend, and all that stuff? While at the same time, the straight male, the heterosexual male, is constantly being demonized and advertised that he doesn't have the right to be with with a healthy woman, both mental and physical. He doesn't have the right to be with a woman that's gonna be healthy for her family, and she's gonna watch her weight, she's gonna prioritize her health physically, you know what I'm saying? She's gonna prioritize being in the best shape of her life within reason for her family, the man she's with, so he can actually enjoy her at her healthiest. You know what I'm saying? For a straight man or heterosexual man to want that, that is oppression. That is oppression. You know what I'm saying? That's to be oppressive. You know what I'm saying? That's oppression. For you to want your girl to watch her weight. You know what I'm saying? For you to want her to dress respectfully, to carry yourselves with a level of dignity. You know what I mean? To not be over-sexualized, to change from a sexually young couple to more of a prioritizing your family and not capitalism and participating in that. You know what I mean? So the heterosexual male, that's his existence. And then, of course, you put on top of that, you put the narrative of toxic masculinity, that the male's existence of being masculine is toxic. You know what I'm saying? Basically, a man being alive and a man existing is toxic. You know what I'm saying? So that narrative is being pushed down the heterosexual male's mind, that his existence is toxic. Really, it's pushing you towards towards deletion, self-deletion anyway, because your existence is a toxin to this world. And you know what I'm saying? You watch television, well, you watch films, on your news, social media, everything that's being pushed about being a man, a heterosexual man, is toxic. You know what I'm saying? Toxic. Even your sexuality, and I'll get to that. I'll get to that from another perspective, but let's just stay on this road for a minute. Let's stay on this lane. So the heterosexual man is being told that his existence is toxic. You know what I'm saying? Toxic. And they're basically saying you being masculine as a heterosexual male is toxic. And remember, you being a heterosexual male, the only form of masculinity is from men anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's an organic form of masculinity that only men can produce and be. They've deemed that toxic. But this artificial example of masculinity they're pumping out there with this, anything a man could do, a woman could do. You know what I'm saying? This artificial masculinity that really is just a falsified narrative that they've now deemed a woman being aggressive as masculine. So they've deemed a woman being aggressive as masculine, and they've deemed a woman just being an adult as masculine. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, there's no such thing as a masculine woman. Now, are there more aggressive women? Yeah, there's an aggressive woman. Is there a more muscular, defined woman? Yeah, that doesn't make her masculine if she's just more muscular. You know what I'm saying? So they've put a lot of the roles that would be defined by men upon women to lessen the worth of a man in his position in the society. You know what I'm saying? So they're now deeming, like, you'll give a woman like Serena Williams. They'll say, oh, Serena Williams is very masculine. When in reality, she's not masculine at all. She's just a very muscular woman. Very muscular. You know what I'm saying? She has a lot of muscle tone. That's really what it is. There's nothing masculine about Serena Williams. But they had to co-opt the definition of masculinity, because they don't want to just say, hey, women can be just strong women and be very muscular and have high muscular definition. And I mean, they tested this. This isn't new. You know, if you're in the black community, this isn't new. They've always said that black women are more masculine. You know what I'm saying? They've always, because they feminized the role of the man, the black man. So they would always say, oh, the black women are very masculine. When in reality, no, that woman is just very aggressive. There's not masculine about no damn woman. She's just very aggressive. You know what I'm saying? She just has a higher muscle tone. You know what I'm saying? Higher muscular definition. That's it. There's nothing masculine about a woman. And another reason they want to utilize terms that associate with a man, and we're going to get to it, but before I get to that, let me say another thing on it, is that another thing they're doing with this is that they're also pushing this narrative to also say that, you know, to basically, you know, weaken the meaning of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? They weaken it. Now, if you watch all of social media, all of the modern news, they've now co-opted the word masculinity. You see all the push. I remember watching that award show where they had, we need a new definition for masculinity. So they had women co-opting it. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to weaken the meaning of masculinity. Because if they can have men accept women as being masculine, they've basically weakened that man. You know, his mind is weak. Because if you can place the role of a man on a woman, you've basically weakened that man's mind. You know what I'm saying? You'll have that man cower behind a woman as a stable option for strength, when in reality, that's a liability. You know what I'm saying? You're better off depending on the weakest man before you can depend on the strongest woman. Because at the end of the day, that woman being strong is the strength of a woman versus the strength of a man. You know what I mean? So they want to weaken that man's mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of men from other countries will openly just laugh at the westernized, the Americanized man. You know what I'm saying? They even hear the word an American man, they'll start laughing. You know what I mean? Because they know how weak and how soft the American man has been made, to where he will an American man will say words that a man overseas from a less feminized country of men, a less, or as I call it, you know, I won't use the pills terms, you know, because I want you to be able to absorb this without going to another video. Just keep it here. But basically, other men in other countries that haven't been feminized, like the westernized man, the Western American man, who will just say things that other men will just laugh at. You know what I mean? You'll hear the Western man say, you know, me and my girl need to see eye to eye. We need to agree on things. We are defined by our unity. You know what I'm saying? We need to, we're equal in our relationship. You hear all this BS that the westernized man is basically just saying, I'm feminized. You know what I mean? Whenever you hear a man in America just say, yup, we're equal, you know, me and my wife, me and my girl, we're equal, that man is basically parading that he's been feminized. You know what I'm saying? Because how can you and the woman in your life be equal? You know what I'm saying? You could never be equal. You know what I mean? So if your children are in danger, let's say your children are in danger, you know what I'm saying? So y'all on equal footing? You You know what I mean? You're on equal footing. So the kids, if they're in danger of being attacked, you know what I'm saying, trying to get help from their mom is the same as getting help from their pops. Is that what you're saying? You know what I mean? Is that the level of equality we're at? You know what I'm saying? So if your children are in danger, you know what I'm saying, they should go to their mother for protection. You know what I'm saying? They should go to their mother for protection just as they should go towards their father. Is that what you're saying? Is that the level of equality you're saying? You know what I mean? And some people will say, oh man, you're putting it in the physical realm. You know, we got cops, we got police. Yeah, the police that could take, you know, even if they're fast, even if the police, let's say the cops could arrive when you called them for a minute. That means, you know, they could arrive within a minute. That means whoever broke in the house, they basically have a minute to do whatever they plan on doing. You know what I'm saying? They got a minute to do whatever they plan on doing. You know? That's the narrative you're putting, that they got a minute. They got a minute to do whatever they plan on doing. You know? And there's more to it. You know? So you're saying that you know, that basically gives that perp, whoever's breaking into the house, a minute. Because even if the cops could come within a minute, you know what I'm saying, that's giving whoever's gonna harm the people in the house more than enough time. Because you gotta remember that just because the cops can arrive to your home within a minute, they still have to identify who's the problem. Who's the problem? You know what I'm saying? It's not like a cartoon where when somebody breaks into your home, they're wearing stripes and look at me, officer, I'm a criminal. You see the stripes? You see the mask on my eyes? Officer, I'm a criminal. You don't see that. So I mean, think about it. A cop comes into the home, you know what I'm saying? Like, how they gonna identify who's the problem? You know, especially if the perp is doing what they're doing, you know, depending on how they set it up. But let's move on beyond the cops or whatever. So you're telling me your children, you know what I'm saying, they're equally as comfortable sleeping in the house when their father's not around as they should be with their mother? They feel as equally safe as they would with their father in the home while they sleep when it's just their mother. So they equal the same level of safety and protection and provision as if their father was around when it's just their mother in the house. So the kids go to sleep, they feel the same level of safety, same level of security as when it's just their mother at home, just as if it's just their father at the house. You know? Now let's move on from the physical perspective. You know what I mean? Let's move away from the physical. Then it's the mental aspect. You know what I'm saying? The mental aspect of you know, being less emotional and more about the physicality of how they deal with the world. So the perspective a mother will give advice is the same as when a father will give advice. It's the same perspective. The same perspective of you know what I'm saying, self-sufficiency, you know what I'm saying, self-awareness, self-security, self-insurance. It's the same perspective. So you're saying when a mother gives advice, it's the same perspective as the father. Same perspective in the world. Because, you know, fathers and mothers, you know, men and women exist in the same perspective in society. You know what I'm saying? Just as the men need society to defend and protect them, the women need the same level. They exist on the same spectrum. Is that what you're saying? Then you're saying that, you know, if the mother's just around, and the father's just around, the mother's just around, no father. It's the same perspective for the son growing up. So the son is getting the same level of knowledge, the same level of mental stability, he's getting the same level and same aspect of life advice, and he's complete, because when a son is born, he's not half his father. You know what I'm saying? And it's not only that, he's not a man, he's the same as his mother, right? Is that what you're saying? Same as his mother? You know what I mean? That's something a lot of these people will be saying, that have been brainwashed into believing anything. Damn, something doesn't feel right with this car. Feel like my tire couldn't be popped. Yeah, but so there's that. You know what I mean? That's something they're selling. So a lot of men from other countries, when they hear an American man, they automatically assume, that feminized man. You know what I'm saying? That man that can identify with his wife. That man that can literally look at his wife and say, yup, we're the same. You know what I'm saying? We share the same responsibility. We share the same perspective on how we're raising our kids. There's no difference from a man's perspective and a woman's perspective when raising their children. No difference at all. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. Is that what you're saying? You know what I mean? Is that the perspective you're speaking of? But that's how they think the American man is hyper feminized. Because the American man, the westernized man in general, Australian. I talk to a lot of homies from Australia, Germany, London. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. But here's the other trappings for the straight male. The other trapping that a lot of straight men are being pressured towards, with them placing masculinity on women, a trait that is shown on men. You know what I'm saying? A trait that's shown on men, really. When they put that on the women, they're also trying to make you as a man, you know what I'm saying? They're also trying to challenge your sexuality. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. Subconsciously, they're sending a message to challenge your sexuality. Because if they can basically place the characteristics of a man on a woman, then they're basically putting that, the women, they're the same as your fellow man. So if you're attracted to a woman who has masculine traits, then what's the difference with you being attracted to a man? That's what they're doing. So you're also in a society where they're constantly challenging the ideal of being a straight male, being a heterosexual male. You know what I'm saying? Constantly challenging that. Where you could look up the video on my channel about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate calling you out as a straight man, saying you're not straight if you don't find a tranny attractive. You know what I'm saying? You're not straight if you don't find a tranny attractive. So you'll see these plays being incorporated by men that have, that are part of the modern plan to basically eradicate and demonize the heterosexual male. That's why Andrew Tate was perfectly comfortable suggesting that, you're gay if you're not attracted to a tranny. That's why Andrew Tate was so comfortable in saying that and comparing a tranny to that of a sexually attractive woman. You know what I'm saying? A born woman. You know what I mean? Born woman. He's trying to equalize that because this is the narrative you're in. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man in the West, if you're a man in America, what is it? What is America, Canada, Australia, London? You know what I'm saying? I got some homies calling me from Ireland. Ireland. What's good, Weebly? What's good, homie? You know what I mean? From Ireland, you know? The whole goal is to challenge your sexuality. You know what I mean? Because a lot of men don't get it. A lot of men will say, well, they're taking our spaces. They're taking our spaces. We can't go to the gym. A lot of men are basically thinking that, you know, their spaces are physical. You know what I'm saying? Their spaces are physical. You know, it's a location. It's the gym. It's the bar. A lot of these men don't get it that your mind is a space also. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to have a mental space also. Your mind is a space. They don't want you to have that also. So there's a lot of men just looking for, well, you know, we could still go here. We could still go there. You don't get it, man. They've deemed that men, if you're heterosexual, as you can see from the media, as you can see from the majority of people speaking on straight male situations. That means you look at Destiny. You look at a guy like Destiny who's literally waited till he was 30. He waited till he was 30 to advertise that he's in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Dyed his hair blue, and he's speaking on behalf of straight men. You know what I'm saying? The guy waited till he was 30 to start saying, yeah, man, he likes the hot dogs that don't come on the bun, that don't come on bread. You know what I mean? That's what he likes. But he still feels that he's dignified, that he can speak on behalf of straight men. Because he should be. This is what he's in. He's in a society where, yo, man, it's open season on straight men. If you're not a straight male, join the dog pile in attacking them. Join the dog pile and demonizing them. You know what I'm saying? Join the dog pile and speaking for them. You know what I'm saying? Because our goal is to muzzle them anyway. It's to muzzle them. You know what I mean? So our goal is to muzzle the straight male. You know what I'm saying? We've now deemed that their existence is toxic. You know what I'm saying? Toxic masculinity. And a lot of men don't get the narrative of toxic masculinity. What is the source of masculinity? It is you being a man, you being heterosexual, you being straight. So you are in existing a source of toxin. That's what a lot of guys don't get, man. A lot of guys think they got to be targeted, they got to be attacked. Nah, man. Your existence is a toxin, you know. But you know, to keep going to it, so they've put this narrative. You know what I mean? A lot of guys think, oh man, male spaces are only physical. It's the bar, it's the shops. You know what I'm saying? It's the films we like, it's the video games, it's the genres we like. No, the male mind is a space. And they've deemed that anything that is of a heterosexual male should not have its freedom or exist. So your mind, you just having your mind in a state of stability is wrong, because your mind counts as one of the spaces they've deemed that you shouldn't have. Why do you think there's such a push to destabilize the straight male? I saw a BetterHelp commercial that was crazy. And I mean, that commercial was crazy. This guy said, well, you know, I have a job interview, and I don't feel like I qualify. I think other people qualify more than me. You know what I mean? I think I underqualify. It's causing me mental issues. You know what I'm saying? So that they're basically in that commercial from BetterHelp basically saying, yeah, if you're challenged as a straight male, that's a mental issue. That's a mental issue right there. If you feel a call to something that demands, you know what I'm saying, you gotta rise up, you gotta put more effort. You know, you were given an opportunity. Maybe you don't qualify, maybe you underqualify, maybe you're underexperienced. These are just my thoughts. These are just my opinions, my thoughts, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You obtaining an opportunity you're underqualified for, I mean, it can't be luck. It can't be someone saw something in you. It can't be that they saw that you'll become qualified, that you'll eventually become good enough. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they just hired you, they gave you that position because they need to occupy a slot, and they see that you could fill this slot. And they got a commercial of a guy, instead of saying that, yeah, man, he's just dealing with some low self-confidence at the moment, and he'll eventually get there, or he never will. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine to not always be confident. You know what I'm saying? Perfectly fine. Instead, nope, you need to get yourself a psychologist. You know what I mean? A lot of men that are straight just, you know, this is what the black pill does, man. You know, when you look at everything from a mathematical, and you try to analyze everything from a perspective of, you know, you remember what they used to say, man, in school: who, what, where, why. You know what I'm saying? Who, what, where, why. When you look at everything like that, and you look at it from a mathematical perspective, you're not looking at it because you want to bring back the patriarchy, idealism, and all that bullshit. No, man, that doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It's understanding stuff from a mathematical perspective. There is no emotion in math. You know what I mean? That's society right there. You think society will stop operating, or it has stopped because some motherfuckers' feelings are hurt? Some motherfuckers have better goals and all that crap, ideals. That doesn't mean anything, man. That doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. You gotta look at things from a mathematical perspective. And you know, when you look at everything that's being done, you know, this is why this black pill perspective, it's you know, this way of thinking where you're just looking to understand things. You're just looking to understand. You know what I mean? They destroyed the extended family. They destroyed the extended family with the nuclear family. You know, demonizing the extended family. You know what I'm saying? You inheriting a house from your father. Why would you inherit a house when you could buy one? You know what I'm saying? You staying in a family home to continue your family, whatever. Oh man, that's nepotism. That's, you know, you're not gonna build your own legacy. You know what I'm saying? They shame and demonize everything that was built upon, you know, when it came to your own family and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you know, what do you expect? You know? So they've destabilized everything. That where we are now isn't new. It's not new at all. You know what I'm saying? It was all planned. Complete destabilization of the straight male. You know what I'm saying? Because once you feminize your male population, then as a government, you could just run wild. You know what I mean? You could run wild, you could pass whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Because you feminize the men. You know what I mean? And the men will just go with it. Because now you got them running on feelings instead of logic. So it's a lot easier to manipulate them, because the goal is to, when you feminize men, is to basically turn them to an artificial woman. You know what I'm saying? An artificial woman. So a lot of men now voting aren't really part of the male vote. They're really just part of the artificial female vote, or basically the feminized male vote, which means they're voting against their own sex anyway. They're voting against their own sex. You know what I'm saying? They don't count towards the male vote. You know what I'm saying? What man would vote to support that? They gotta pay alimony without justified cause at all. It's just incorporated. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Without any reasoning, without any statistical reasons or anything. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? What man will vote for that? Of the feminized man. The feminized man would of course vote to attack and destroy his own sex for just existing as a man. You know what I mean? So a lot of men just don't get what's at play here. Yo, your very existence is problematic. You know what I mean? Your very existence is a problem. You're a heterosexual male. That's the problem. That's why when a lot of guys I see online will say, well, why did she do that to him? Why does the courtroom do this? Why does the system continue to do this to him? To men. He's a fucking man. He's a heterosexual man. What do you expect? It's built into the system, man. You know what I mean? The destruction to destabilize. You know what I mean? This is why they're pushing the challenge on straight men. You got guys like Destiny saying they speak on behalf of straight men, yet he couldn't even stay straight. You know what I'm saying? You got Andrew Tate openly saying that you're gay as a man if you're attracted to an ugly woman over what he considers to be an attractive tranny. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, man. This is what has happened. So the heterosexual man is just cornered. You know what I'm saying? In the West, he's just cornered, man. You know what I'm saying? He's cornered. You know what I mean? The advice, the men of advice, you got a whole section of so-called male aid gurus and stuff like that are part of the cornering process. You know what I'm saying? The guiders. You know what I'm saying? You got men that are just guiders for the system. Their goal is to guide you back towards the system. Why do you think YouTube stopped blocking red-pilled men? You know, all this red-pilled content. They know it's just a guider. It just guides men back to the system. It doesn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? It guides men back into the system. You know, the fact that you got red-pilled men speaking, we need to return marriage, we need to return the family. When literally there are trillions of dollars on the current state of the system. Trillions of dollars from not just America, but from all over the world. Trillions. You know what I'm saying? I forget the word right now. Lobbies. Yeah, lobbyists. There are lobbyists from all over the world to maintain the status quo and how it is. You know what I'm saying? So the red pillars are telling men, yeah, we need to stand together. We need to march in the cities, in the city squares. We need to get together, arm ourselves with knowledge, and we shall changeth thou nation. Yeah, dude. So yeah, you're gonna change the world. Cause the problem with a lot of American men, they don't get it, man. You're in the center of the world. You know what I'm saying? It benefits the world for the way things are right now. You know what I'm saying? It benefits the world the way it is. So the straight male, in America, got homies call me in Canada, got homies hitting me up in Ireland, got homies hitting me up in Australia, got some homies hitting me up in Scotland, got some homies hitting me up in London, UK, whatever it is, the westernized, feminized places, man. You got people hitting me up, telling me, yo, hold the truth hostage, man. This is what's going on, bro. So the westernized man is just, just cornered. On the images that's being projected on him to challenge his sexuality. There's literally a video, some Fred guy, whatever. There's a video of some Fred guy who challenges you and shames you for you not believing that going to a gay section of a beach to get women isn't closet. It isn't closeted at all. It's not closeted activity. There's nothing wrong with a so-called straight male going to a gay section of a beach for women. That makes logic. That is 100% logical sense. So let me go to the majority section of the beach where there's nothing but gay men and bother them. Go bother these gay men that have chosen this section of the beach. They probably pay for it. Probably got some type of organization or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Go to that section of the beach, bother them, go bother these gay men. You know what I'm saying? Go bother the gay men in that section of the beach to try to talk to women. It is just the level of insanity, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But it makes sense. It makes sense when you're in a society that's saying, yo, the masculinity from straight men is toxic unless it's about risking their lives or giving up their lives. That's when masculinity is a positivity. You know what I'm saying? That's when masculinity is a positivity. So the straight male up here, in the West, America, whatever, Americanized, westernized, whatever you want to call it, they're cornered. When they don't have this level of knowledge, when they don't got this black pill knowledge, man, to be absolutely invested in the truth from a mathematical standpoint. No room for emotion when it comes to logic. No room for it at all, man. Just understand things for what they are and proceed. You know what I mean? Proceed. Understand it for what it is and proceed. That's where we're at. You know what I mean? That's what you gotta understand. So men without the black pill knowledge, buying this red pill shit, you know what I mean? Buying that silver pilled knowledge. I ain't mean to jump into the pills, but I got it. Buying the silver pill content from Andrew Tate, who's overseas, who still comes here to sell you some BS and challenge your manhood. Tells you to be this masculine bullshit. You know what I mean? This hyper strong alpha, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That usually only benefits the wolves and the animals. I'm an alpha. You know what I mean? I never saw being alpha changing the divorce stipulations. I've never seen where being alpha helped a man during his divorce. You know what I'm saying? Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. man, he was so alpha, man. The judge on his divorce said, nah, man, I can't charge this man. He's an alpha male. You know what I mean? I can't put him on alimony like that. He's too alpha to be on alimony. You know what I mean? I've never seen where alpha got a guy off. Where is it? You know what I mean? Where is this luxury that being an alpha gives you in the family court? You know what I'm saying? In the marriage court. Where is that? Where's the luxury from it? You know? You got all these hyper... And you know what's funny about it? What's funny about the whole alpha thing, the alpha craze? What's funny about it that a lot of men don't see is that you see all these so-called men coming out to give you advice from an alpha perspective. You know what I'm saying? Where they're deeming their alpha at a time in society where you're not seeing any images of alpha males in films. You know what I'm saying? So there's a need for an alpha male, you know, perspective and so, you know, and so on. You know what I mean? There's a need for it. You know what I mean? There's a desperate need for it for men growing up without a father in the household and so on. There's a desperate need for it. And then there's a desperate need to just see, you know, men that you could idolize or that are masculine. You know, there's a desperate need for it. And, you know, you don't see it. Yeah, you don't see it from television, nor from film, nor from the news stations or none of that. You don't see it. What the fuck, man? So these people, man, just parking that want to get you on an accident. It's just crazy, man. Yeah. So, you know, my bad. But yeah. So you know what I mean? You don't see it. You don't see this whole. There's no stable or masculine male imagery. So now, at a time where there's no masculine men on television being advertised at all, fatherhood is all at an all-time low. Now all of a sudden you see all these so-called alpha gurus pop up. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying, man. The straight man is just cornered. And like I was saying, basically think about it. You don't have any more forms of, you know, masculine men. You know, you don't have any forms of masculine men on television. And if they are masculine, they're deemed masculine based on playing the role of servitude and basically being led by females in an artificial role. You know what I'm saying? You'll watch these military shows where, you know what I mean? You watch these military shows where, you know, the men aren't the leaders. Damn, man. Give me a minute. Fuck. God damn, man. You watch these military shows where the men play second fiddle. You know what I'm saying? Because it's wrong for the men to be the lead, even if it makes sense logically. The majority of the military, the mass majority are the men. The mass majority in leadership are the men. So they've stripped all aspects of representation when it comes to masculine men, you know, for the most part. Then, I mean, even Black Panther, you watch the first movie. You know what I'm saying? And now all you have is these gurus playing this role of masculinity. You know what I mean? They're playing this role of hyper masculine man. Hyper masculine man. He He's so alpha, no one can tell him what he should do, for he's hyper masculine man. Hyper masculine man. You know what I'm saying? You see all these guys playing this fictional hyper masculine character, and then they're putting their fingers together, they're cracking their knuckles at the thought of speaking to a woman. You know what I'm saying? During a debate, they crack their knuckles, they put their fingers together intertwined. You know what I mean? Like they're doing a damn jutsu from Naruto. You know what I mean? And then they're telling you 12 steps to clean your room. You know what I mean? Cleaning your room will fix all these issues in society. What's going on? You got 12 steps to clean your room. Yo, man. You got 12. Well, here are 12 steps to clean your room. And if you can clean your room in these 12 steps, you shall qualify and quantify to be a man. A masculine man. A man worthy of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? You come on, man. You got men telling you to clean your room. That cleaning your room is a definition of masculinity, and cleaning your room will fix your entire life. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning your fucking room. Damn, something ain't right. You know what I mean? Cleaning your room will fix your life, man. You know what I'm saying? That will fix your entire life. 12 steps to cleaning your room. So, I mean, what's funny about that, so you're basically saying if that man doesn't have a room, then he can't fix his life or be a man or be logical. You know what I mean? So for that guy who lives on the road or something like that, you know what I mean? How is that gonna help him? You know what I mean? Since he can't meet them steps to clean his room. You know what I mean? If he lives in a mobile home or something like that, how's that gonna help him? And then how is cleaning your room gonna help you, man? How is that gonna help you in the society you're in the system you're in? Like how is that gonna help you anyway? You know what I'm saying? The westernized man is just so desperate for a father, man. They're so desperate for a father that every fucking, you know, what they call it, grifter, whatever they want to call it, grifting or whatever. Every man is just coming after the westernized man. They just see a desperate, fatherless man whose society is telling them every fucking day that, well, you weren't born with a father, you're not a man. You know what I'm saying? You need to identify in your victimhood. That should determine who you are. You know what I mean? So you see a lot of desperate men, and it's created an entire economical opportunity to prey and grift on these men, to grift on them. You know what I'm saying? And make a killing, make a living grifting on these men. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is. You know, that's how bad and comical it is. Motherfuckers telling you to clean your room. That's gonna help you in society. That's what you should really focus on and understand. Thou hast cleaneth his room. Thou is prepared for the world. For thou hast cleaneth his room. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of scams, man. Because they know you're that desperate for a father figure, man. You're that desperate for a father figure that a stranger You know what I'm saying? You'll let a stranger lead you and tell you how to live, man. You're that desperate. You know? And what's crazy about it is that your desperation, what's crazy about all this is that you're so desperate, you forgot what you were taught as a child. You know what I'm saying? As a child, you were taught not to let strangers in the house. Don't listen to strangers. But because you grew up without a father, you know what I'm saying, without a father around, you're so ready. You're so prepared to listen to a stranger and let a stranger tell you exactly how to live. You know what I'm saying? Without any logic behind it. But he sounds and he dressed just like the father I've always wanted from the TV shows and the movies. Hold the truth hostage. Just let me be happy with my fake father. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of men looking at these guys being grifted, being taken of their money, whatever. And at the end of the day, you're free to do whatever you want. You're your own man, right or wrong, whatever. So with all this established, that, you being heterosexual, you're being targeted so much, then, what is the solution, to avoid deletion? How do you avoid it? You know what I'm saying? How do you do it? What is it? You know what I mean? This is why I think, man, this is why I made those videos, the Casper Pill 1.0, which was more about your external issues, and made a video called the Casper Pill 2.0, about your mental, you know what I'm saying, your mind. The thing is this, man, the current man, the straight male in the West needs to understand that he has to detach himself. You know what I'm saying? That there is no such thing as a stable society for you. Once they come after you for existing, deeming you being a straight male is toxic, and being masculine is toxic, that means you can no longer, you have to look at that as a full, you know what I mean? You gotta look at it as a red light. You know what I mean? Red light. What does that mean? The red light. You gotta stop. You gotta stop, man. You gotta stop positioning yourself in a situation where you're trying to define yourself on what they're selling you to be. You know what I'm saying? To be a father, to be a so-called traditional man. It's funny how they're selling you tradition hoods when it doesn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? They're selling you all this tradition when legally they don't even support it anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's basically they want you to attach yourself to being a sucker, to being a pawn, to being involved in stuff that has no stability at all. You know what I'm saying? The whole goal of the westernized system, the Americanized system, when it comes to you being a straight man, is for you to bind yourself to instability, instability. You know what I'm saying? They want you to buy a house. They want you to buy a house when the banks at any moment could crash the value of the houses. And the banks will be bailed out. You know what I mean? They'll be bailed out. You know what I mean? So what's going to happen to you? You're paying your mortgage and all that, and your housing section, and they crash the value of all the real estate because the banks did another Ponzi scheme, and politicians bailed them out with your tax money. The thing is this, man. What's happening is when it comes to this deletion aspect is, man, ghosting's become the only choice. You have to detach yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to detach yourself from what they seek you to be and how they define you. You know what I'm saying? One thing you'll see from all these gurus on YouTube and online, they're always seeking for you to attach yourself to an identity and a moral compass they want to sell you and they want you to fight for. This is why I keep telling guys the black pill, you know what I'm saying, it will never be fully mainstream. Then you got something like the Casper pill, you know, ghosting. You know what I'm saying? Deciding to become a full-time ghost. That won't be promoted. That'll be seen as cowardice. They tell you you're a coward for running away from what they deem to be responsibility is you being a father, you having children. They deem you a coward, like I was saying before. They want you to attach your very life to the identity they're selling to you. You know what I'm saying? They're basically saying you have no value in this society if you don't participate in the traps, the trappings. You know what I'm saying? If you don't become a father, you have no value. You know what I'm saying? You don't commit yourself to this system, you have no value. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're telling the straight male to be. You know what I'm saying? They're telling you to volunteer. And like I've been telling guys, a volunteer can't be a victim. If you volunteered for it, you're not a victim, you know? And now let me get to aspects of it, you know? And you'll have, you know, I chopped it up. I talked to a lot of homies, man. You know, you got a lot of guys that are, like I said, they feel like they want to delete themselves. They're on that path, and I'll touch up on some white guys. You know, I'll touch up on the white people that watch this channel. You got a lot of white men that find themselves feeling and absorbing all this shaming tactics, you know, to be responsible for their ancestry. You know what I'm saying? Or even be responsible for people that look like them. Like, for example, if you're a Polish guy and you just got to America, you know what I'm saying? You're a second generation or first generation Polish guy. Like, what does white men owning, you know, enslaving people in America got to do with you when you're a first generation? You just arrived here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of white guys being told by their female counterparts that they're white supremacists. You know what I mean? They're demons, they're negative and all that. And a lot of them are buying into this pressure because you're still attached. You're still attached to the narrative that this person talking to you is even still a person to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Even a person to begin with when it comes to having any self-value. You know what I mean? If you're a white guy and you're feeling bad from a white woman telling you to hate yourself, man, then you're overvaluing that white woman as someone that should be valued, that should be even seen as a person of your own people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white men need to understand, man. Those white people that were just proud of being who they are, that worked, did their jobs, you know what I'm saying, built their country, a lot of those people don't exist anymore, man. A lot of those people have been wiped out, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look up a lot of history, man, how much history, and I've been at school, a lot of us have been at school. How many historians, how many historical figures, George Washington, you know, all these people that could identify with you, that look like you, how many of them were saying, I'm accomplishing this because I'm white. I'm accomplishing this because I'm white, and this is what we do as white people. How many of them were saying that? You know what I'm saying? When did what's his name? I forget his name, but you know, how many, you know, people they so-called white in history was saying, I'm doing this because I'm white? Not that many, man, not at all. They weren't even identifying with their race. They were identifying with their nationality and what they accomplish, what they stand for. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck did they give a fuck about I'm white for? You know what I'm saying? This is the people that reference they're white and all that. These are people that have been hypnotized and bought into the narrative, bought into the sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Bought into the narrative of abandoning their culture, their identity. They bought into it. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear some white woman telling you, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself, you're a white supremacist and all that stuff, dude, she got no value. What normal and stable woman would be telling you that, oh man, you're bad because you're white? What normal and stable person with a stable mind would be talking to you like this? You know what I'm saying? The way I look at it, if you're white, you look at history. If you're looking at history, you got to really look at it from a perspective of when did people that look like you lose their identity? You know what I'm saying? When did they lose their identity? You know what I mean? Was it the 1800s? Was it the early 1900s? You know what I'm saying? You got to look into when did Italians, when did the Irish, when did all of them come together to say, we're all identifying as Anglo-Saxons. We're all identifying as one unit. So we're casting aside our birthright. We're casting aside the legacy of those that came before us to identify as this so-called white in this narrative. And if they did, and some of these people will be in your family and all that, you got to look at them as these people are not stable. These people are not mentally stable. They're not well. They're not logically found. They don't have a logical foundation to stand on. So how can I value anything these people are telling me? You know what I'm saying? I've seen it, man. I've been in front of some white women that tell me, oh, I feel you, black guy. These evil white men. You know what I'm saying? However, I have a white woman tell me, yeah, these evil white men, they're so bad because she's advertising that I need to drop my guard. You know, I need to drop my guard, see her on my side. Then she's automatically having me to identify as a victim for being so-called black, when really, dude, I'm from Haiti, man. My bloodline doesn't, you know what I'm saying? My bloodline doesn't start here. So she's trying to have me sacrifice my own, you know what I'm saying, birthright and the identity of my birthright to take this narrative that I'm a black victim. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black victim, and she's on my side because she's standing up against the white supremacist when her father could so-called qualify as white. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of white dudes I talk to, man. You got to understand, you're not white. You got to look up your history, man. If you look up your history, you'll find that, yo, man, where did you originate from? You might have originated from Poland. You might have originated from Spain. You might have originated from, you know what I'm saying, Eastern Europe, whatever. Like, where does that say, where does your bloodline and your birthright say it was white? You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of white guys that are depressed, you know what I'm saying, borderline ready for the wrist knife. Ready for that you know what I'm saying, ready for that deletion, ready for that rope necklace. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There's a lot of them just because they feel pressured by their so-called fellow whites that they should demonize themselves, that they should be responsible for their ancestry. You know what I'm saying? It's insanity. You got to look at these people. You got to look at certain words. You know what I'm saying? I stopped talking to certain people, man. Or I stopped taking them seriously if they mention certain words to me. You know what I'm saying? They say the word gender. You know what I mean? My mind has already put them out as somebody that has any stability. You know what I'm saying? They mention gender. They mention certain words, gender. They mention race. You know, I'm white or whatever. They mention slavery. They mention white supremacy. You know, they mention a lot of words that point towards living in the past. They mention feminism. There's a lot of things that, you know, when you're speaking from a standpoint of absolute logic. You know what I mean? I discount these people. These are certain words that just tell me they're not logical enough to conversate with, to talk with. They don't have enough logic in them to have any value or bring anything to a conversation. You know what I'm saying? They're part of the problem. They've bought into what's been sold to them, that they're so focused on, you know, they're so focused on being an NPC. You know, let's say that they're so focused on being an NPC that, you know what I'm saying, they can't be a player anymore. They can't be a player in this world anymore. They're not a player. They're not a player in the game of life. They're so focused on being an NPC. You know what I'm saying? They're non-players, man. You gotta understand a lot of, and you're taking advice from NPCs. You're trying to find, you're feeling shameful. You want to delete yourself for NPCs, man. You're attached to these NPCs that want to identify with feminism. You know what I mean? You want to identify with, they still believe that feminism was made by women. You know what I mean? You wanna base your life on these NPCs. Come on, man. You know, and then, you know, you got some black men, man. You got some black men. You know, I grew up like that, man. We grew up in a neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, where they would so-called tell you don't fit in. You know, you don't fit into the narrative they deem black. You know what I'm saying? You don't fit into this narrative. You know, why are you into Japanese culture? You know, why are you into old school music? You know, why aren't you adapting to the culture we deem sports as, you know, sports, rap music? Why aren't you, you know, why aren't you confining yourself to the NPC programming? You know what I'm saying? Why do you want to be something else besides the black NPC? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you want to promote drug dealing? Why don't you see that as a positive? You know what I mean? You'll get a lot of that. You know, and a lot of black men need to understand, man, just as I said with the white, when I spoke on the white thing, is, dude, there ain't that many black people to begin with. There are not that many black people that exist, man, around you. You gotta understand that to destroy the black people, they had to create the niggas, man. You know what I mean? They had to create niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? And on a negative tip, everything that has to do with negativity, they identify with. You know what I'm saying? Victimhood, all that. You got to understand that you're not being judged by blacks. Black people were known for creating things, started Black Wall Street, did so many accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? You're not dealing with black people, man. Once you understand that you're being judged by so-called blacks when they're artificial, that's a better word. You're dealing with artificial black people. You know what I'm saying? Artificial. Their whole identity is to identify from negativity, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look back in history, you'll look at blacks were doing many things, man. And the whole narrative of black is really to confine yourself to an identification they deem black, just as they deem a certain identification as white. So if you're black right now, man, and you're struggling, you don't fit in, you know what I'm saying, you're being bullied, you don't fit in, they're bullying you for for not fitting into the artificial black stereotype. You know what I'm saying? The artificial black composition. Yo, man, you shouldn't care about what the hell they're saying. They're not black. They're not organics anyway. They're artificial black people. They identify with nothing but the negative. You know what I'm saying? Their whole culture is based on confining you and limiting you to a certain perspective. What is black about that? What is black about that? You know what I'm saying? They want to confine you and tell you how you sound. It's like this, like being Haitian, man. I'll be talking to some Haitian people. So I say to all my Haitians, you know what I'm saying? I would, all my Zoes out there, I would be talking to some Haitians, and they would tell me, yo, man, you know what I mean? When will we be accepted, man? When will we be fully accepted in the black community? And I told them, man, when a Haitian makes a hit, when a Haitian makes a hit record that's Haitian, you know what I mean? That's Creole, a hit record, yeah, you'll be fully accepted. You know what I'm saying? Hit record or violence. You know what I mean? That's when you'll be fully accepted in the black community. That's what happened to the Africans with Afro beats. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a running theme to joke on Africans. You know what I'm saying? Call them African booty scratchers, joke at them. It used to be a running thing to joke on Africans. Then, Afro beats drops, the Africans make a hit record. Their music blows up and it becomes acceptable in the artificial black community. And next thing you know, now every black person, and not the Pan-African movement of blacks wanting to move to Africa and all that. No, not that. Now all of a sudden, the artificial black people accept Africans now. Teach me how to dance to your Afro beats. You know what I'm saying? Now you have value because you can entertain me. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have value when you could bring another culture or, you could bring other. We don't give a fuck about that. One thing I've learned from the artificial black community, they don't value any culture from anybody that looks like them. You know what I'm saying? This is why you'll hear from artificial blacks that the most romantic place is France. You know what I'm saying? You're like, what? How? How can you be? How is France the most romantic place to a Negro? You know what I'm saying? How? Oh, I get it. It's a predominantly non-black cultured place. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with African culture or Caribbean culture. That's why it's the most romantic place. Because it's a culture outside of anything that resembles you. Man, I remember growing up, man. Haitian kid, whatever. Going to school. You know what I mean? You getting jumped, you getting attacked, you getting chased. When you could bring an entire new culture, an entire new spectrum to the artificial blacks. You know what I'm saying? Artificial blacks. But nah, man, they showed me with with fights growing up, you know what I'm saying? Fights, bullying, whatever you want to call it, that yeah. The artificial black people do not value anything from people that look like them unless it's of that artificial black cultures and gang violence, drug dealing, victimhood pride in being a victim. You know what I'm saying? That is the artificial blacks. Because in the eyes of the artificial black person, you'll hear this 400 years of slavery. They'll discount everything other black people have done. After slavery, before slavery, they'll discount it all. Because, I mean, there was no, after slavery, blacks did not accomplish anything in the eyes of the artificial black person. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't seek any value from artificial, people that look like you. The black NPC. Black NPC wants you to play sports, listen to rap, chase the highest, most expensive fashion while still living in poverty and all that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it, dealing drugs and all that. You have to be able to separate yourself from the artificial black person and realize that, yo, there's not that many organic black people that exist anyway. You know what I'm saying? There ain't that many left. A lot of them were wiped out when drugs were infesting the black community. When the media, you know what I'm saying, when the media put the whole narrative out, you know what I'm saying, to make them identify as black, because that's all they can be, is what they've been deemed black, and so on, you know. So you don't attach yourself to that, you know what I'm saying? And same rule will apply to some Asian, I know some Asian homies, man. I know some homies from Asia, North Korea, where their women are literally getting surgery to change their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Change their eyes, getting surgery for that. Like, what value does that person have to tell you? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't feel bullied or ashamed or depressed. That person isn't even, you know what I mean, proud of being organically who they are. That person doesn't have any fucking value, man. You shouldn't value anything that person is telling you. Damn, man, there's lightning striking. Yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Well, I'll come back to this. I gotta pause it. So, you know what I mean? You gotta, you know, whether you Asian or whatever, man, you don't, oh, you know, the thing is, man, you gotta understand, man. There's no point in valuing the opinions of people that have chosen to be NPCs. You know, I think that's the better word from now on. You know, the word sheep has run its course. It's run its course, you know. But there's so many people that would rather be an NPC than anything else, than ever be a player. Why would you value their opinion when they don't even want to be a player or protagonist in life? You know what I mean? They don't want to forge their own path. They don't want to forge their own path at all. So, you know what I mean? Why value anything they say of you? You know what I mean? Like I said, I grew up a black kid, you know what I mean? Haitian guy. You know, people, the artificial blacks, I still don't relate to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm still the weirdo and the strange guy because I don't go with the NPC programming. You know what I mean? I don't go with the NPC programming of what I should be doing, who should I be, and all that. So, you know, you got to devalue that. Now, let's go to it. Let's go further, you know. And this is why I say, and I plan to do a video on a Casper Pill 3.0 in this format, not a live stream. But you got to understand, man, you know, ghosting, the full-time ghost, being detached. You should only be attached to your mobility and your freedom. That is it. That's it, man. That is it. Because when you're living in a society where they've deemed male stability as a negative, as a wrong act, as something wrong, you know, as you know, shout out to the homie Pars. You know, Pars said, you know what, you know, he said he's looking at countries from a male leading country. He's looking at where the laws benefit the men and the men are the leaders in the country. You know what I'm saying? You're in an anti-male leadership country, man. You're in like I made a video way back. Look up this video. Watch it. Male Limitation Society. That's what you live in, an MLS. Male Limitation Society. And the reason you have to ghost, man, because all the things a man wants are deemed a wrong act. Stability. Once a country deems you being a stable, normal, and here's the thing, normal is heterosexual. Being heterosexual is what's normal. Everything besides that is abnormal. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But because of the way the system has been designed, you know, from the family court system to full-blown demonization of men anyway, it's now all about eating itself. And for you to find chaos as comfort, you must demonize normality. You got to demonize being normal. So you can only have it that chaos is the only right. Being chaotic, unstable is the only right. This is why they're so desperate to position men cross-dressing, men in drag. I saw a photo on Facebook where this father with his little baby daughter was dressed up in a freaking skirt like his daughter. Basically saying that for you to be a good father now, you must be feminized. And I've been telling guys, man, the pink pill is real. The pink pillar is real, man. It is the future of man, where men are identifying being feminized as the true form of male identity and masculinity. You know? And the reason I say ghosting is the only option is that you can't invest in anything stable anymore beyond yourself. You know, beyond your ability to be mobile and move, nothing else is stable. You invest in a house, you know, the only thing permanent is they got your money. They got your money. That's it. The only thing that is stable now is you giving somebody your money. The exchange of currency. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You buy a house, so the banks could crash the worth of that house at any time. The government could crash the worth of that house at any time. You know what I'm saying? So what is permanent about that? There are no more permanent. When you're in a country where you being stable as a man is a negative, there are no permanent investments. Beyond investing in your own mobility and your own freedom, there are no such things as a permanent, stable investment. You know what I mean? We know a couple, you know, I've talked to, man, I've shaken hands with some millionaires, man. I've talked to some millionaires in there, you know, work in the line of work that I've worked at. Yeah, I've spoken to some of them, you know what I mean? And I've seen them. But guess what? Now you're in a country now where, you know, you're a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, whatever it is. You own your own business, and you could lose your business at a drop of a dime because you didn't identify someone's pronouns. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say their proper pronouns. You could lose your whole company through a civil lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Well, what is stable about it? Because you didn't identify as what somebody wants to identify as the game they want to play. I identify, and this further goes into the NPC thing, man. You look, when you played Oblivion, some NPCs would give you missions. You know what I'm saying? Some NPCs would identify as a, you know what I'm saying, a shop clerk and all that, you know. That's what they want to be, man. They want to constantly flip. There is no more stability. You can't just say, yo, man, as your boss, you know, I thought, you know, you're a man the way you looked. I just said, how you doing, man? No, that's not my pronoun. And you go to civil court. You lose your whole business, man. You lose your whole business. This is when unstable people are prioritized. Instability. The government loves this. The government loves this narrative of pronouns because they literally don't have to give anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not giving these pronoun people anything. You know? They're not giving them nothing. But they get to say, we're going to support your pronouns and all that crap. Nothing. But that doesn't change their state of poverty or nothing. You have to ghost, man. I made 2 videos, the Casper pill Casper Pill 1.0, Casper Pill 2.0. Watch them. You have to ghost. The future of men in the West and in America is to ghost. You have to become detached. You have to detach from everything here, man. Tradition and all that. Because what does it lead to? What is permanent about it? What does it lead to? You know what I'm saying? When you've been deemed the problem, you're toxic, remember? Your existence is that of a toxin. You know what I mean? So what do you need to invest in? What do you need to be attached to? You know what I mean? You're going to attach to people that constantly refer to you as a toxin? Come on, man. You're going to get depressed. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get depressed. You're going to attempt to delete yourself because you don't fit in with people that want to be NPCs. People that are artificial. People that are telling you, hey, Polish guy, you're white. That's all you can be. You can only be white. Hey, Asian guy, you know what I'm saying? You're defective. You didn't have that surgery for your eyes and the eye slits. You know, because you didn't have that, you don't fit. You're not a high caliber, high quality Asian. You're gonna be depressed by these people. Oh, hey, black guy, you're not allowed to listen to, you know what I'm saying? Listen to I'm trying to remember, classical music. You're not allowed to listen to classical music. Only gangbanging music, drug dealing music, you know, crying about being a victim music. That's all you're allowed to identify with. You know what I'm saying? What value do these people have? None. They don't have any. You know what I mean? So why be depressed? Why be attached? Why be attached to the desire of these people validating your existence? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to have lost people. You're trying to find value in people that have chosen to be lost. They've chosen to be lost. What value can be found? Let me repeat that. What value can be found from people that have chosen to be lost? What value? What value can be found from people that have chosen to be lost? Come on, man. You gotta get up, man. What value do they bring? They've chosen to be lost, and they're going with whatever the narrative demands, because they're an NPC, like the video game. You gotta think about it when you play Oblivion or you play any video game. Whatever the narrative demands, those NPCs will follow. You know what I'm saying? Those NPCs will follow whatever the narrative demands. Whatever the story demands, they'll follow. While you're the protagonist, you know what I'm saying? You're the player. You want to define your own future and all that, while these NPCs are telling, well, the village is on fire. Lord Saxonball. I mean, they go with whatever the narrative is, man. So who gives a damn? Who cares what they have to say? You know, there's a lot of people making content. Or hold the truth hostage. You need to be more sensitive and caring and have love and tell these guys calmly, I feel your pain. Feel your pain, and think you shouldn't delete yourself and you should find the strength and to love yourself. No, man. Dude, no. You know what I'm saying? They feminize men so much. I gotta come to you at a emotional, comforting. No, man. Coming at you like a logical, normal man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not crying. I'm just telling you like it is, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Stop seeking validation from people that have chosen to be lost, that have chosen to be an NPC and follow the narrative. They have no value. Have no value at all, man. This is why ghosting. I'm waiting on something. I'm waiting on a logo for it. I got some big plans, Pretty soon we'll basically have the ghosting logo, the ghosting flag. You'll be able to proudly ghost full time. Full time ghosting every day. You'll be proud of it because, you have to have some type of symbol or something. It's in our history. Some countries have been built, achievements have been made, built on a symbol you could look to and draw strength and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So we'll have that soon. We'll have a symbol, because full-time ghosting, man, it's the only option. And in case you don't know, you're like, oh, what is ghosting? You're not hiding from people, man. You're living your life. You do what you want to do. And whatever you're doing is always based on if it will endanger your freedom and mobility. You know what I'm saying? A full-time ghost can't move in, can't move in with his girl in the West. Full-time ghost can't have a long-term relationship because it comes with long-term liability. You know what I'm saying? A full-time ghost lives for opportunities to better their resources, better control over their life. That's it. That's all it is, man. Because at the end of the day, man, if you're a heterosexual male, everything you want it's null and void. You want a family. How you gonna have a family when you're in a society that tells you can have a family? You can't keep a family. You can have a child. You can't raise a child. You know what I'm saying? You can get married, but you can't decide or control your resources when she pulls the divorce. There is no more. The only thing permanent now in the West is suffering. That's it. For the straight male, the only thing permanent when it comes to their investment is suffering. And the question for the suffering becomes, when will it take place? When will these investments lead to suffering? That's what it is now. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a matter of, when will your attachments lead? Oh, that's a good one. When will your attachments lead to suffering? That's what it is. There is, for the man in the West, for the American man in the West now, America has laid out a very simple stipulation. They want you to make money here. Make your money here. That's the beauty. That's the greatest thing about America. The opportunities are endless for you to succeed and for you to fail. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. It's a balance of highs and lows, That's the greatest thing about this country. You can succeed. The opportunities are great. But are you willing to understand that all you have now are the opportunities to profit, make money? Not make money, not, think about it. Profit. Parent. There's a R in parent, there's a R in profit, but they're organized differently, Profit is PR. PR. Public relations. Think about that. Public resources. Parent. Where does parent fit into profiting? You know what I'm saying? Where does that fit into it? And, to those that are parents and fathers and all that, hey man, we're all men here. You will do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And no one here is hoping the worst for you. No, I'm just pointing out the math. And legally, there's nothing you could say. You can't say what I'm saying is legally wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to my boy. My boy told me, you know what I'm saying, there's literally a law where, domestic violence is how, if you don't share your resources with your spouse. You know what I mean? The West is the West, man. This is the age, we are in the overage. The overage, it's over. It kicked into turbo around 2016. If you watch when the woke stuff happened, it kicked into turbo. You know what I'm saying? Around that, the Me Too's and all, it kicked into turbo, man. There's no going back from the overage. You know what I'm saying? Conservatism and all that. The conservatives were the ones that passed no-fault divorce in 69. You know what I mean? It's done. We're in the overage, man. Now, if you're a man with a family and some kids, hey, man, I'm only doing what I can. I can hope you well. I can hope. That's it. I can hope you well. And I don't say this negatively. That's all I can say for you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, with what I'm saying, it can help you prepare for if something happens. You see, the system, the way the family court system, everything works is they tell a man, and they keep putting this narrative, my kids are everything. They're everything to me. My family is everything. Everything for the man is a finale. Finale. That's what they're pushing on a man. Everything you have is your finale. I can't say the word finale, finality. I don't know the word, but everything they put in a man is, my children, they're everything. That basically means it should end for you when you lose access to your children. It should end. They're everything to you, right? So without them, you're nothing. That's what the system's pushing for, man. If you look at the narrative for men, look up the narrative for a husband, look up a narrative for a wife. The narrative for a wife is this man you're with, there's more like him. There's always more. There's always more you could do. There's always more you can access. But for the man, the narrative is that you got to fight for your family. You got to fight for your kids. You got to fight the legal system because this is all you are. This is your destiny. This is where it ends for you. They are everything, and without them, you are nothing. When in reality, it's the polar opposite. It's the complete opposite. Those children for a man, they're not everything. They're something. There's something for the man. They're not everything. You know what I mean? A man could have other children. You know what I mean? A man could have other children. You know what I'm saying? If you look at it, you know what I mean? For you to give her your seed, for you to bust that ranch dressing in her, it could take less than a minute. It took you less than a minute. So when it comes to these children, how attached to them, how are they everything when they're an exterior, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's an interior that leads to an exterior ranch release. You know what I'm saying? Once you've released those so-called your seed and kids, it's an exterior aspect of you. You know what I mean? Nothing else was sacrificed beyond that. And then you recharge. The woman, on the other hand, her body changes, her hormones, everything changes when she has children. You, of course, you become attached and all that. Those are your kids. But other than that, let's be honest here. Let's get black pilled with it. You're detached. You know what I'm saying? You can always have other children. You could just pay the money, you pay the child support. If your girl puts you on child support, you tell her you can't have them both. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can have them both. If we're together, you get them both. You get access to my resources, and I'll be in the kid's life. I'll be in the kid's life. We together, yeah. The government's not involved beyond our marriage license, yeah. You'll get access to me being there, providing, protecting, and providing for the kids, and being there. But once you divorce, once you decide to split this up and go to the family court and all that, those kids, I will be responsible from a resource perspective. You know, I'll be responsible. You don't get to, I forget that word, forget the word, you get your cake and something too. Forget the word, you get something in your cake too. You know, I forget that saying. But you don't get to demonize me and legally destroy my character, my name, throw me in the dirt and think you're gonna have a father for these kids, for these kids. Nah, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'll put money in all that. You know what I mean? These kids become a weapon now, because you've now chosen to leave me and become the enemy. You've chosen to be an obstacle in my life. Once you're an obstacle, you do not deserve, you know what I'm saying? You do not deserve rewards. You've chosen that. There's a lot of men, this is what the pink pill is about. There's a lot of men that will say, you know, and I've met a lot of them. Yeah, my wife divorced me, got me on alimony, we're still friends. What? I mean, if it was amicable, they both left, you know, no alimony, you know, nothing, you know, they both left with what they brought in and all that, what they, you know, they got their fair, whatever, yeah. But I know a lot of dudes, man, but that's the simping, man. That's the feminization of the man, that a man will openly say, yeah, still friends with my ex-wife that I'm paying alimony checks to, that took my children. I'm still friends. What the fuck, man? What is wrong with you? You know, this is what's going on. You know, you reward somebody for betrayal. You know, you reward, and here's the thing, man. It's not stabbing you in the back. It's stabbing you right in front of you. You know, I know a lot of dudes I've spoken to, good father and all that, put them on child support. You know what I'm saying? Because them children become a check. She could now just go around the bars, have experienced the sexuality, you know, over-sexualized stimulation while having a certain large amount of resources for the next 18 to potentially 25 years. A lot of people tell you it's 18. No. That kid goes to college. She puts the kid on health benefits or something. That's potentially a 30-year investment. You know, and a lot of men here have been trained to reward the women they're with that are destroying them. You know what I'm saying? They've been trained that way. You know what I'm saying? Somebody stabs you in your front, not in your back. You know what I mean? They don't stab you in the back. They stab you right in front. And you still gonna reward that person. You gonna reward that person with friendship? Man, you know what I mean? But this is what you gotta do, man. The whole deletion stuff, stop deleting yourself for people that choose to be NPCs, that choose to go with the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Stop. What's the point? You gonna try to impress somebody that's already destroyed, that's chosen to be destroyed, or they're defective? You know what I mean? What's the point in it, man? There's a lot of men giving men this message with crying and softness. Nah, man. Telling it to you like life would tell you, man. There ain't no emotion in my voice. Because here's the thing. Here's the honest truth. You delete yourself. Here's the thing, man. What the majority of other men won't tell you. How does this affect me? You know what I mean? As a heterosexual male, If you delete yourself, like, if you break it down from a logical standpoint, he deleted himself, that means there's more space for me to move around. You know what I'm saying? There's potentially more women, whatever, to sleep with. There goes less of a man to compete with. That's the honest truth. You deleting yourself ain't hurting other men. That's what they don't tell you. It don't do nothing. Because, if you're a heterosexual man, yes, if that's your friend, that's your brother, people are close enough, yeah. It will hurt these people, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if you break it down from a, physical part, you break it down to its most microscopic aspect, like, what does it do? You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I'm a heterosexual man. I'm seeking to sleep with women. So the loss of other men, like, well, what does that do? What does that do when my mission isn't to be with other men? What am I losing? This is what they won't tell you. A lot of these gurus and wannabe father figure crap, they'll sugarcoat it and put the sugar on it. The truth is, man, you delete yourself, another man has nothing to lose. Unless your relatives and all that, well, what are they losing? Damn, man, one of my braids is, two of them are still locked. Took them out. Yeah, so what are they losing? Like, what are these men losing, man, if you delete yourself? You're just making more room. You're making more room for these other men to roam. That's all it is. That's the honest truth. Because the thing is, everybody's gonna give it to you with sugar on it. I'm serving you the coffee. You know what I'm saying? I'm serving you the coffee unfiltered black with no sugar at all. This is what the black pill is, man. It's just black coffee, no fucking sugar to dilute it, to dilute the coffee. Diluted strength, nothing. This is pure black coffee. In fact, that's actually what I drink. When I drink my coffee, I usually just drink it black. No sugar, nothing. You know what I mean? If I add anything to it, it might just be milk and cinnamon powder. That's it. But sugar, nah, I don't fucking put sugar in my coffee. You know what I mean? If I can't get cinnamon or I can't get like coconut milk or nothing like that, I'm drinking it straight black. And I want you to do that. Try this exercise, man. It's a simple exercise. I'm going to give you 2 exercises to do. 2 of them. One's going to be super easy. When you go to your coffee joint, order coffee black. Order it just black. You know what I'm saying? No sugar. If you want to add something to it, just add milk. A little, not a lot. It's a little milk. I don't know, coconut milk, whatever the fuck type of milk it is. Drink that. Drink it, man. No sugar, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I know what you think. What is this doing? Well, you want your caffeine, right? You don't have to enjoy it. This is what the black pill, this is what the unadulterated truth is. You don't have to enjoy the truth. You don't have to have feelings behind it. So, drink your coffee just black. You know what I'm saying? Try that. Try that exercise. You know what I mean? You want the caffeine, right? You want the caffeine, you know what I'm saying, to stay up. So, drink the coffee black or with some coconut milk, a little coconut milk, little almond milk. Just drink it black. You know what I'm saying? Drink it that way without sugarcoating it, Don't sugarcoat it. Just drink it like it is, man. You still gonna get your caffeine, right? You still gonna get what you need to stay up, so drink it straight, man. And this is just basically a metaphor. Because if you can drink your coffee pitch black to where, yo, I just need my caffeine, I don't care about the taste. You know what I mean? I don't care about the taste. I don't care about it. I'm still getting my caffeine to stay up, so let me just drink it black. And you know what I mean? Do this for like a week, man. Do this for a week, man. Prove to yourself that you could just get what you need from something, not what you want. Prove that. You know, try that little exercise. You know what I'm saying? Just prove to yourself, man. You could get what you need, not what you want. Prove it. Just drink the coffee black, man. Black or with you know what I mean, with some little milk or almond milk. And you gotta drink it with the unsugared. It can't be sweetened. Unsweetened. Almost forgot, it has to be unsweetened. Unsweetened almond milk, unsweetened coconut milk, whatever the fuck it is. Unsweetened. No sugar. Or just drink it pitch black. If you could drink it pitch black, I'll respect you a lot more. That's how I usually drink my coffee. I'll just be like, yo, give me black, man. And they'll look at you crazy. They'll be like, what? You don't want sugar? You don't want cream? What's wrong with you? Yo, just give me the coffee black, man. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to experience somebody serving it to you, go to like a Wawa's if you're in America, you know, a Quick Check or 7-Eleven, pour your own coffee, drink it black. Drink it straight black. No sugar. The second exercise is very simple. You know, a little more of a challenge for you. Second challenge is a little more simple. Remove 30% of your check. You know what I'm saying? Put 30% of your check away. Try to do that for a month. Try to do that for a month where you don't use 30% of your check. You know what I'm saying? You don't use 30% of your checks. Every paycheck you get, you don't use 30%. See how it's like mentally to not have access to all your funds. See how that is. Try that little mental exercise. You know what I'm saying? Try that little mental exercise. Remove 30%. If 30% is too much for you, just remove 25%. Take 25% of your check out of play. Take that out. Try to do that for a month. You know what I'm saying? Try to do that for a month, man, and see how things are. You know what I'm saying? Simulate that. Simulate giving 30% of your check during child support or alimony. Simulate it for a month. Just run a simulation. Just run it. Simulate it. You know what I'm saying? Put 30% of your money in like a, you know, super savings account where you can't touch it for a certain time period or whatever. Whatever. Just do that. Do that little test. But like I said, man, you know, this video been long enough, but those are the two challenges. As for deleting yourself, it's simple, man. Stop trying to seek validation from a society that doesn't want you to be stable anyway. Doesn't want you to be stable. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to seek validation from other people that are just going with the narrative. If you black, you already know what it is. If you white, you already know what it is. If you can identify as black or white, if you can identify as Asian, you know what it is, man. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Why are you seeking validation from people that have chosen to be lost? That have chosen to be NPCs and chosen to go with the narrative, you know? You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to do a heartfelt message and all that crap. Nah, man. I'm just telling you like it is, man. Because you get enough people trying to tell, don't delete yourself. You're special. You're so special and precious to this world. You're such a beautiful person inside and out. Don't delete yourself. Don't do it. You're so great. You're so amazing. You're so special. I mean, you're so special that if you did delete yourself, it doesn't do nothing to the world. You know what I mean? The world doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. But, this has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage.
They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faith.